widespread unrest and political tension, with protests taking to the streets, setting buildings ablaze after the death of the youth leader Sharif Osman Hadi. Thousands of protesters have in fact taken to the streets in Dhaka as well as in multiple other cities demanding justice for him. Protesters blocked highways, chanted slogans and turned violent in multiple locations. Media houses, including major newspaper houses, have been vandalized by the protesters. The Awami League office in Rajshahi has also been torched during the clashes. Now, the protests have also turned ugly and barbaric and condemnable in a shocker that has come from Bangladesh. A Hindu man has been lynched in Bangladesh, and the Hindu man, identified as Dipu Chandra, was beaten to death by a mob. After killing him, his body was then hung from a pole and set on fire. We have more breaking updates now coming in. Amid the anarchy and arson on the streets of Bangladesh, the Yunus government has now issued an official statement condemning mob violence, saying, "We condemn the lynching of a Hindu man. Those who lynched will not be spared. We condemn all acts of violence." This is the official statement that has come in from the Yunus government after a Hindu man was lynched by a mob. Now, finally, a statement coming in. In fact, Yunus government has also apologized to the journalists, saying, "We regret that the journalists also had to endure terror." Remember, many media houses have also been burned down by the protesters. My colleague Rishabh is joining us on the broadcast with the details. And Rishabh, is a mere apology enough? The Yunus government going on to say that we condemn the killing of a Hindu man, but not the first time that we are seeing such targeted killings take place in Bangladesh, and every single time it's too little too late.
Well, Pratibha, if we talk about what's happening in Bangladesh, Bangladesh is a classic example of how a revolution turns the people against the republic. And that's happening in Bangladesh. Yes, there were flaws in the rule of Sheikh Hasina. It was authoritarian. But one thing was very clear, that Sheikh Hasina kept at bay the violent fringe elements of Bangladeshi politics. Since the Yunus government has come to power, that fringe element, be it Jamaat or be it other extremist groups, have now taken the mainstream politics, and the result we are seeing on the streets of Bangladesh. See, one thing is very clear. Torching Bangabandhu's residence in Dhanmandri, Dhaka, or for that matter, vandalizing and burning down newspapers' office or channels' office is something where a mere apology will not be sufficient. Yunus government will have to show concrete steps against what's happening in Bangladesh to send out a message that they do not stand with this vandalism or violence that's unleashing right now on the streets of Bangladesh. Having said that, when we talk about Muhammad Yunus and his government, in last one and a half year, since they have been in power as an interim government and advisors to the government of Bangladesh, they could have changed things in last 1.5 years. Rather, they actually went with the tide, and now the society of Bangladesh is so polarized that even if there is a new government after an expected election in February next year, one thing is very clear, that the next government will have to be working on a lot of things, and it will not be easy for them to actually go ahead and get things back on track. The mob violence and the mobocracy, that what we call, has taken the center stage in Bangladesh, and that's the reason that we are seeing that forces, security forces, police, administration, all looks very pawn in front of all this violence that's taking place in Bangladesh. Okay, all right, Rishabh, do stay with us. In fact, vandals have gone all out, and we're seeing arson in multiple locations, and you're seeing how the radical mob is going on an absolute rampage in multiple locations. A major center of Bengali art and culture has also come under attack, and this again is the radical mob going on a rampage. Take a look at the situation.
Well, right now I'm in front of the Daily Star office, and as you can see, there's security perimeters there, and there are cops, they're doing their duties, and I can show you the burnt building behind me, and you can see the burnt furniture and the burnt glass, broken glasses, and you can see the burn mark, and I can say it's a very tall building, And as I'm reporting, there was a large number of journalists. They were trapped inside the building last night, and after a complete try of the cops, the army, and the fire brigade, they were rescued. That's everything from now. Well, right now I'm in front of the Daily Star office, and as you can see, there's security perimeter.